And we are live.
Hello. Welcome to our watch party live. I'm Samantha Brown, the host and executive producer
I like it.
of the Emmy Award-winning travel series Places to Love, which airs across the United States on your public television station. And right next to me is...
I'm Kevin O'Leary, also the co-executive producer.
Producer. Yep.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
I don't even know what I was trying
I
to say
also
there.
click the buttons and dial the knobs and stuff.
There's a lot of buttons and knobs back here. It's pretty impressive. But this is our Watch Party Live. We're coming to you from Facebook as well as YouTube. And this is where we like to join our community and just talk to you one-on-one. We don't get to do that a lot of the time. And meanwhile, we'll show you an episode from our prior season, last year's season 8. And we give you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to create a travel series, giving you sort of like anecdotes of people and parts of the scenes that maybe didn't make it to the show because we only have 25 minutes to fill. And I believe our
Something
editor,
like that,
David
yeah.
Dean, sees 12 hours of footage and whittles it down to 24 minutes and 30 seconds. So lots to talk about because we have to edit a lot out. Anyway, we got a lot of people joining us. Daniel's here. All right. I learned this week that Patrick Henry's Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death speech, yes, was originally written by your one and only Samantha Brown. Because he was giving me this whole like rigmarole of should I say this, should I that? I'm like, so what you're basically saying is give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah.
And our amazing Patrick Henry, phenomenal comeback, was like, well, that's very good. You don't mind if I take that, do you? Just really, I give all the credit to him. He was phenomenal. Luke is here from California. Hello.
Bill Johnson's good friend. Bill's here.
Johnson.
Vera's here. Meg Parsons. The
Yeah.
whole gang. Jeff from Long Island.
We hope so because Stacy Hawkins is here. Howdy from Houston.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. This is a special watch party because it will be our last for a little while. As you
till
know,
November, December.
We do the whole season, so 10 episodes, and we are at the 10th episode, and then we take a hiatus. Not for us, though, because we actually have, we've thought about going on with this, but we don't have the time because then we're back traveling and shooting, and so this is our big chunk of time. But yes, Jason Seguin, is that how you pronounce your last name? Happy Monday to you too.
We also, speaking of happy times, we have a special guest tonight.
We do have a special guest.
And we'll be bringing them,
Yep.
I won't even reveal gender, we'll be bringing them on after we watch the episode.
Oh, I like the idea of having a gender reveal. Just like, is it pink or is it blue?
And last week's special guest is here. Oh, I hit the wrong button. No. Where'd it go?
Wait.
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, hello.
Hey, Mary
from
Beth.
Tulsa. Hello, Mary Beth. Nice to see you.
Yeah. So this is our last one for a while. We'll be back with all of the episodes that are airing now. We'll be doing watch parties starting in December time. And we'll be starting off with those 3 final Route 66 shows.
I love it. 2 people, Cindy as well as, I just lost it, are mentioning curling. Because they know you're a big curler. Yeah, hi guys, Kevin. Minnesota curlers are in it to win it.
Duluth in the house.
Duluth in the house, exactly. Yeah, we watched
So
them
I'm
today.
a curler. It's my thing. You know, some people play golf. Some people play the pickleball, I guess. I curl. And today was a huge day because the United States is going for gold tomorrow at noon Eastern against Sweden.
And it did not look good 2 days ago.
No.
We were not doing well, and you were even saying, man, this if we're not doing well now, it's just going to get harder and harder because the teams just get stronger and stronger.
It's true.
And the United States always, I love us.
Yeah.
You know, you can never count us out.
Corey
Never.
and Corey, and this is the mixed doubles curling. After literally tomorrow is the the medal matches, and then Wednesday the men's and women's team, which is 4 people to a team, start up. So it's, this is the special mixed doubles where it's just one single dude and one single lady, and they play together. It's a different kind of game, but it's a lot more faster.
We're big Olympic fans here in this household. We watch them every night. Our kids can't stand it, but we don't care because it's just like you don't understand. And like I cry for everybody. Like right now, I just watched the skating, and I cried for Japan because they work so hard, and the United States won. But I still was like, I love that we won, but oh god, Japan!
Heart stopping.
It was heart stopping. Today, well, for the curling match, yes, it was heart stopping. But I love Olympians. I love athletes. I love how they put it all on the line. And I just find them all remarkable. All remarkable. I really do.
Just one bit of news this week. We had a sad occasion that the world is one travel host less. We lost Bert Wolf. Very, very prolific PBS travel and food host. He kind of crossed into both genres. Was on PBS forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Forever. Yeah. And our editor, David Dean, who everyone knows on this broadcast, edited Bert's shows for 10 years before he moved over to start working on Sam's show 25 years ago. We were just chatting about Bert just a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago.
Just a huge influence, right? People think that I'm the OG or an OG, and he's definitely an OG. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Completely created the genre.
But yeah, so anyway, this sad thing that happened. Lots
Angel,
of
Blair is into figure skating. I hope so. I could totally see her being totally into ice skating. I love it. I love the ice dancing, the figure skating. I love men's. I love women's. Oh, I just love it all. I really do. It's amazing what they can do on ice skates. Fun fact, we own ice skates, myself and my kids, not Kevin here.
I have shoes to curl
ice skating
on ice.
in New York City because, strangely enough, there are a lot of really amazing ice skating rinks all over the city, including the Central Park one, which is really famous. But a lot of them are free if you have your own skates. So there's not much that's free in New York City. So we're gonna take advantage of that.
Very true. We have a funny clip to run that Sam put together talking about her trip in September. I'll show this real fast. That Samantha's going to be doing the Canyon Spirit train that goes from Salt Lake City to Denver, September 17th. Ending on the 21st, but here's a little promo Sam did.
Hey, did you know that there is a beautiful train journey that takes you through America's epic Southwest, past soaring rock formations, through beautiful deep river canyons, all while dining on elegantly prepared meals and sipping cocktails from a bar car? I'm gonna be on that train, and I'd like you to join me. It takes place September 2026, Salt Lake City, Utah to Denver, Colorado. We go through 2 national parks. Meet me in September, will you?
That was a long walk in the cold right there.
I was actually at QVC HSN to sell my luggage, and QVC has a massive campus in Pennsylvania, and it was Saturday, so not many people are there other than the people who are on camera, and so it was just this sea of empty parking spaces and mounds of snow. And I was just so inspired by the desolation that I just thought, this is a great place to shoot a fun video about what September is going to be like.
It's going to look a lot different than that.
Oh, my God.
And again, that's September 17th, leaving from Denver. And there's a dinner the night before, I guess on the 17th, there's a dinner that Samantha will be hosting at the hotel. Yeah. And then it's all kind of bundled together, their own car. There are a few spots left, and if you want more information, just go to samb.tv/canyon. And that's samb.tv/canyon.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey. Unbelievable. Yeah. I've taken it. That's why we had all that footage of it. That's my footage. And it was one of my favorite trips I've ever taken. I just love the Southwest, as you can see, as we're kind of heading into it with the Oklahoma into Texas show, and what you saw already with Arizona and New Mexico and into California. It's just a different part of the world. I mean, there's nothing like it. So
speaking of your luggage, Becky Hall Newland says she always gets compliments on your luggage.
Becky, what's the color?
Ooh.
And what's the style? I always like to know.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
So last week, we mentioned a little bit about Williamsburg. Who saw it? And I think we teased this out last week that when we played the trailer for Williamsburg, that Patrick Henry is the star of that episode.
Yeah, he really is.
He's amazing. And then when we're talking about Patrick Henry, the actor that, what do they call him? There's a fancy word for
there is a fancy
people
word.
that portray, because I guess there's actors that kind of get assigned roles, but then there's people that research one character that they do.
Yeah, and that's all they ever play, right?
Yeah.
And Nate was Patrick Henry, and he had just taken over for a man who had played Patrick Henry for like 30 years at Williamsburg. So when you have a character, and what was really, I think, Teal, nice, okay. Becky,
The answer is Teal.
Yeah,
It's probably
right.
Crocco.
Yeah.
Probably Crocco.
Yeah. But so he gets to, what's really cool about what he gets to do is he gets to research it on his own. He gets to add his own flavor. Williamsburg isn't like clamping down on everything he says. And I just thought that it was just fascinating how much he inhabits the role and to the point where he can improv in the past, like how he improv with me when I was like, oh, are those buckles? He's like, curls. You know, it's like, oh, I guess they are curly.
You could see his improv mind running.
Yeah, I loved him.
I tell you, if you watch that again, just watch his face. He is absolutely in improv mode. He could be in Second City at that moment.
Yeah, he truly could. Yeah. But then I love with his AV, which is what we call the authentic voice when he speaks directly to camera, he breaks character. And that was really important to us that we talked to Williamsburg about this, like, can he be himself as well, talking about what it's like to inhabit that character, being a real person? And they said, absolutely, because sometimes people that play characters and like the companies that, employ them are like, no, they can never break character. They can't talk to you from a personal standpoint. This is like a corporation, and they have talking points, and he didn't. Williamsburg was like, absolutely, like he is absolutely, able to say whatever he wants to in terms of who this man is and why he chose to portray him. And I just thought it was a fascinating conversation.
So this week, now someone just Maria mentioned that GBH was the Boston station is 1 week behind in airing your episodes. That's just the reality of public television. Every station has their own schedule, and we don't control that. We just give the show, make it available, and most of the stations start running the weekend that we air, but not all of them. In Boston, I think they actually they did start that first weekend, but then I think
they have
one of the holidays hit and they take a break, and then they can pick up a week later. So
you'll get there.
Yeah. So you're going to see Williamsburg this weekend. How about that?
Exactly. Yeah. Regina, why did I not know this? This is unbelievable. You have 30 pieces of my luggage. You are awesome.
Wow.
You are my favorite. I like you even more than this guy right now. This guy has none of my luggage.
That's, you could have had 3 pieces of luggage. I think you would have made that.
Regina, this is incredible. I did not know that. Wow. 30 pieces.
Wow.
I think I have 30 pieces of my luggage. But I think just me and you, Regina.
That's funny. So this week we have the beautiful city of Bologna. Now, here's a little fun fact that we would talk about next week if we were doing one of these next week, but we're not. We went to Emilia-Romagna, which is the region that Bologna is in, to film one episode. And it was just the perfect storm of everything happening amazingly. Angel that popped up there was producing that for us and did a great job. And just everything worked out to the point that we got 2 separate episodes out of one shoot, which is really good math.
I mean, all Italians are awesome.
Yeah, it's true.
And everyone we put on camera was amazing. And they were characters, and they're big. I love it. One thing about Americans, like, we're big people. Like, we show up, right? Like, you met Mary Beth Babcock last week. Like, we're big, right? And so we're easy to shoot. Like, we're easy to create stories. And there are some people who are really, they're just more subdued. Not the Italians.
No.
And so they show up, and so we didn't have to cut anything, and we were stuck with a predicament. Like, well, wait a minute, we can't just do it. We call it a death by 1,000 cuts, where we're just killing the show because we have to cut and cut and cut and cut. And so we just thought, wow, let's just do 2. And you wouldn't know that we stretched it at all.
Speaking of cutting, we used to be really good friends with Bill Johnson. We've been on 2 cruises with Bill. 2 cruises. That's 2 separate full weeks of time on the Danube. Oh, no, actually, was France the first time we were with Bill? I forget.
Yes, yeah, maybe in Bordeaux.
Yeah, and then we find out that he has Rick Steves luggage. Now, that's just out of order.
We're just going to have to talk about that.
Why don't you go on a cruise with Rick? How about that?
Exactly. Oh, that's right. He doesn't do cruises. Okay.
Perfect timing. Colleen.
Rick Steves' luggage are functional, but Samantha's over here and also functional. Thank you,
Thank
Colleen.
you, Colleen. Our
Appreciate
favorite
it.
Colleen. Thank you.
Actually, I have 2 of Rick Steves' backpacks, and we used to use them for our kids.
Yeah.
Because they're tiny, but you could stuff them to nothing, absolutely nothing, and then they took up no room. So, yeah, I totally agree. Super, super, super functional.
So we're getting a little sidetracked here because the Rick Steves Bill thing just kind of set me off. But so anyway, I'd like to play the trailer of our brand new Bologna episode.
I'm in a destination that feels both timeless and electric, where beneath its iconic red rooftops, a boundless energy and playfulness mingles with the well-preserved fabric of its medieval past. It's a place where history, art, and invention are woven so tightly into daily life, it's in every must-do, must-make, and must-eat. An 11th century hub turned place of pure joy. I'm in Bologna, Italy. For more information...
Yeah, I love Bologna. I was there 20 years ago, and it was during Passport to Europe. And we had just finished shooting in, I believe, it was definitely Rome and maybe even Florence or Venice, 2 overwhelming cities. And then we arrived in Bologna, and I just thought, whoa, this is so neat. I love the energy of this. It was so chill. It was like November, so it was cold. But I just thought it was a beautiful place. And so we were back. I'm back 20 years later. But it was there that I coined the term B-side cities. Where you have A-side is the hit. I think I talked about this last week. B-side, and then B-side is the lesser-known song, but still an equally great song. And we gotta play the B-sides more, right? And then you get away from being overcharged, being with thousands of other people, and just really enjoying a place for how the locals enjoy it. You really get to experience that everyday life. And there's nothing better than everyday life in Italy. I mean, it just is incredible. In fact, I'm always jealous of Angel because he's really made his career, right? Angel has the tour guy, right? And he'll take people on tours
on
of
YouTube,
Italy.
the tour guy, GUI.
So if you want to know even more about Italy, make sure that you are following Angel Castellanos. And there we go.
Wendy, thanks. The drink tonight was the Paloma, which is a big favorite of mine. It's basically a grapefruit flavored margarita.
Wow.
Cheers. I made yours weak.
Oh, that's delightful.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice ice too.
Yeah, the good ice.
Got the good ice. Excellent. So just Bologna, great to be back. It's been many, many years. And just really a beautiful city. It's a little more discovered than, I remember it, but still, like you saw the footage there, that was in June. And yes.
That's Angel right there. He loves the bolognese.
Yes.
Wait, the people or the food? And I think I know the answer because they don't call it bolognese. They call it ragu.
Exactly. I get a little bit of a schooling in a very funny way when I ask them, okay, how do I eat this? Do I cut tortellini? What was it, tortelloni?
Tortelloni. Yeah.
Did you meet up again, Duncan? You were asking me. Okay, so did you meet up again with the doctor who showed you your tambourine?
Tambourine?
I don't remember that, Duncan. Why don't I remember that? Was that in the Passport to Europe version?
Tambourine.
Tambourine.
I don't remember
doctor.
That. Yeah.
Oh, well, there was the student. He was a student, and I believe he was a medical student, right?
Well,
I think so.
He can't talk back to you.
I know. I was talking back in my head too.
And just to confirm, it was the Bolognese people.
Okay. All right.
Not the Chef Boyardee version.
Yeah.
Of the pasta that we love in this house.
And I love it. Italians. I mean, they really are different wherever you go, right? Romans are a little bit more like New Yorkers.
Mm-hmm.
Very. Angel can help us out with that. But then you've got the Southern Italians and you got the Northern Italians and they're all. I mean, I think they're all really enjoyable. What was your favorite part about going to Bologna? Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I just think it's one of the prettiest cities that I've ever been to. The porticos are so unique.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles of kilometers of porticos they have, but it's substantial in the most.
It's 30 miles, I think.
30 miles?
Yeah.
And it really is, they described it as it gives the city a hug. And what you have is it's either shelter from hot sun or it is from the rain. And I just think it's just stunning. The food ain't too bad either. But I love just walking and walking and walking and walking.
And when we talk about porticos, this is...
playfulness mingles with the
It starts automatically. You can see...
kind of see them there, yeah. Well, no.
They were there.
No.
They were there.
There. No.
Why is it doing that? There we go.
Okay.
So you can see the covered walkway there. That's just all throughout the city. And it was just too much to even cover when we were editing that they started doing that. It was part of the university story that the buildings were built without them. And the only way that they could house the students is they built those kind of attached to the outside just to give like extra shelter for the students to live. And then it became a part of the city, and now they can't build a building without it. All right.
And Duncan says, yes, that's it.
Okay.
That's right. 'Kay, he was an American student, but he was a medical student. I don't remember the tambourine at all, though, but he was really nice. I remember when we had mortadella for the first time, because, my Bologna has a first name, mortadella for the first time, and that's kind of our Bologna. Yeah. I hear you, Mark. I tasted it, and I'm like, well, it does kind of taste like bologna. And he was a little offended. He's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, it kind of does. I'm not saying that it's
good.
Good. Like bologna is a good version of this, but it's kind of in the family.
That's funny.
Like, I've had a lot of bologna sandwiches. I'm an American. I grew up on them.
That's funny. Debbie's saying that she likes the look of the drink. It's a nice one.
It's really good. It's too good. It's very disappointing because that means I'm going to drink it.
And I went with the easy version, which is basically just tequila, lime juice, and grapefruit soda versus doing all kinds of fresh juice and other stuff.
All right.
So I think we're ready to start our episode here. We filmed this April, I think.
Yeah. It was early. It was nice. I like when we can shoot in April.
Yeah. So we filmed this in April, and we had a great time. I was to start at the end there. Okay, let's get it going.
I'm on an epic journey to travel the entire Route 66. And so far, I've followed the Mother Road through Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, and parts of Oklahoma. And so I now pick up where I left off to discover small treasures, hidden towns, and this country's very important past, as well as connecting with so many people who share their passion and hard work to passersby like me. I'm continuing my journey through Oklahoma and Texas on this leg of Route 66.
That is so good.
Yeah.
When I watch these episodes with you, it's the first time I've really seen it totally finised.
Oh, well, at least in a long time.
Yeah, but just really, boy, who wrote that? No AI used there. That's just pure good writing. So this is, we're really excited about this because we're realizing we're doing the whole thing. And we're back on the road, and I haven't spent much time in this part of the world in terms of Oklahoma and Texas. I spent a lot of time in Texas, but not the Panhandle, not what we're going through.
The north part.
And not a lot of time in Oklahoma either. So I always get really excited about places that I have never been to, because again, it's just meeting people and spending time with them, and then finding out just how fascinating our country is, no matter what little corner you get to enjoy.
Our editor is like, oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All of this is in this episode.
There's a lot in this episode. There really is. It's a great one. A lot of fantastic history, and it's kind of what I talked about when people ask me why you love Route 66 so much, is because it really is the mother road. It holds so much of our country's history and the highs, the lows, and just where our sense of grit and optimism comes from. It's from what you're about to see in this here episode.
Oops. Oh, one more.
We have too many sponsors. And you definitely pre-pro'd this.
Yeah, so I scouted this episode about a month ahead of time, where I drove on my own from St. Louis to Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. No, to Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Yeah. There should be a separate group of special people that have done all of Route 66 alone, like I have. It's kind of an odd.
So true.
I left off my Route 66 adventure in the gem of a city, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'll be working my way through the rest of the state with a major stop in Oklahoma City, and then straight across the panhandle of Texas towards the New Mexico border. Route 66 is now synonymous with being open and free. But as I learned at the Route History Museum in Springfield, Illinois, the way travelers moved on Route 66 differed greatly according to the color of their skin. Black travelers during the Jim Crow era had to know which businesses would serve them gas, food, and lodging. One such business providing all three was in Luther, Oklahoma. And although it's been closed for decades, I was excited about visiting this historic place and the family members trying to save what their grandfather created.
Grandpa, he was able to purchase the property here. The only thing I can say is that he had insight, because this ended up being the first Black-owned service station on Highway 66.
And the filling station was more than just a place for Black families to fill up their cart.
It was a gathering place, because Grandpa had a TV, there was produce here that they could buy, and there were canned goods that they could purchase, and people could get things on credit.
At that moment, Ed's cousin, the Reverend Alan Threatt, unexpectedly walked through the door.
Grandpa's name is Alan Threatt Sr. He's Alan Threatt III.
The Reverend still has strong memories of his grandfather, who put him to work as a young boy pumping gas.
On the weekend, they had ball games, the Black Negro League. Black baseball team would come from all over Oklahoma to compete with one another all day long.
What do you hope the legacy of Threatt Filling Station is for the next 100 years?
We want this to be a destination for people. So it's up to us. And that's what we're trying to make happen. Myself, Reverend Threatt, other people in our family, in our generation, we are attached to this property.
It was just such a privilege for them, the two men, to sit down with us and share their story. Threatt Filling Station, like they said, very first Black-owned business filling station along Route 66. And just the history that they know in their family. It was really pretty much dilapidated, and they got enough funding to bring it back to where it is now.
To basically get the structure of the building back.
And then inside preserved, which is beautiful when you look at that preserved, woodwork, and ultimately they want to turn it into a museum and still like a little shop where you can get a little treat. I kept calling them the treats, and they would correct me. I'm like, oh, Threatt, I'm sorry. And then they're like, we know, we're a treat. I'm like, yeah, Threatt. But they told this funny story. We had to cut it for time. But in the back of that building is a huge field, and that's where Black motorists would stay. because of the sundown towns, of course. Jim Crow and sundown laws would prohibit them from staying in other hotels and even being safe. And so they could camp in their own cars in the back. But he said on the weekends they would have their grandfather built a dance floor. It was like this wooden dance floor, and they would have bands, and everyone would dance. And they, as kids, would go under the dance floor because everyone would be dancing so hard that nickels would fall out of their pockets, and all the kids would try to get the money.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the stories that can't go away, right? These are the stories that are so, so worth protecting. You can donate to them. They have a fund. They are a preserved historic site. They have that designation now. Yes, thank you, Reese.
Stacy had asked how to support them.
Yes, exactly.
And I got some good news from Reese in a different post here. I lost it. So Reese Martin, who's watching,
Wow.
he runs the Oklahoma Route 66
Really, Reese? That's great
committee.
news.
And so if anyone knows anything about Route 66 in Oklahoma, it's Reese, and they'll be open. That's amazing.
Wonderful.
Because he would, when I was there scouting a month ahead of time, he would just mention little nuggets that would be its own scene. They had a whole Negro baseball league.
The Negro League would play across the street.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because it was a place that black people could be safe and it was such an amazing thing.
And it wasn't in the. I don't know if we put this in here. We have to cut so much, but it was never listed in the Green Book because it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be. Everyone already knew about it. Everyone knew that this was a safe haven, and so yes, we definitely need to donate if you can. These are really important stories to preserve. Yeah,
that's awesome because it had taken so much money to get the building back to where it was because the roof had kind of fallen in, I think, and it was just a lot of funding just to do that. So now that they're able to open, that's fantastic. But yeah, great story. And I tell you, when we started thinking about Route 66 in general, these were the kind of stories we wanted to find. Very much so.
Traveling further west out of Luther, you pass through Arcadia, home of the famous Round Barn on Route 66. And only half an hour beyond that is the state capital, Oklahoma City.
So to be a neon artist, you need to be part artist, part scientist, part mechanic, part construction worker, and part electrician. But the end result is spectacular.
Whoa! Hey!
So, my name's Kathy Reynolds. I'm lovingly known by my friends and colleagues as the Neon Queen. This will be my 40-year anniversary in the neon business, so I would like to see that continue on, and Route 66 is all neon all the time, and I really think that we need to continue on the tradition of neon everywhere you go on Route 66. My neon studio is located in what's known as the Gayborhood. We are the only LGBTQIA plus neighborhood on Route 66 until you get to West Hollywood. And now it's just growing. It's not a glamorous job. It's a really dirty job, and it's a hot job. And, I tend to burn myself and always have a scar someplace or a scab somewhere.
Neon artists are known as glass benders.
I'm going to balance this glass on my fingertips. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to start to blow.
Kathy blows into the tube so the glass doesn't collapse.
Then I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to lay it on my pattern.
Wow.
So this little piece right here, this is when I'm going to go back over into that fire.
How many women are doing this?
There's a lot of women doing this, surprisingly enough. We're pretty good at it.
We've got a lot of air.
Like that,
air
yeah.
to release. How many glass benders are there?
I've heard that there's fewer than 2,000 in the world. So it's a dying art, so that's why I need to teach this. It needs to continue. And if we're going to have signs on Route 66, we have to be here to make them glow. LEDs are good in their place, but they couldn't hold a candle to the beauty and the brilliance, I don't think, of neon. And it's the difference between glass and plastic, I think. The end product is absolutely gorgeous and takes my breath away, still to this day.
Yeah.
The
I
new
couldn't agree
first
more
Ameri-
that between glass and plastic, that's such a great analogy because, neon is expensive. Neon is, you have to repair it. And of course, there's just all these newfangled ways of lighting things like with LED lights. It's cheaper and they last, but there is nothing like neon. It's just beautiful. It really is a form of art, and I loved Kathy. She was fantastic. Yeah, 40 years, incredible.
Yeah, and such an interesting story of that neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think she's the president of the...
Something like that.
Yeah.
Americans Museum is the largest single-building tribal cultural center in the United States, and it's a highlight of a visit to Oklahoma City.
The word Oklahoma comes from the Choctaw people, from their language. The term Okla could mean like a group of people, and then the word Homa, it's pronounced Homa, is the color red. So which boy Shonte Losa is going to see? Ace Greenwood. My name is Ace Greenwood. I'm the cultural ambassador at First Americans Museum. My job here, I think, is to make the world just a little redder each day.
We have been brought up in a time where we were, the stories that we were told, the history that we were taught was very one-sided and just totally wrong. So it must feel amazing to see every person walk through the door understanding you're going to learn something that you have never known before.
Voices that were never heard before are finally being heard. And it feels good to the 39 tribes because now they have that voice. They have a place that they can tell their story. So this is Joseph Erb. He has done a piece called Indigenous Brilliance. He was contracted to build something that represented all 39 tribes here in Oklahoma. And the sun is huge with southeastern tribes, and so that was the first thing I saw. Then I saw the spaceship, and I said, okay, this guy's Chickasaw, because the first enrolled Native American to go in space was John Harrington, a Chickasaw enrolled member. A lot of people think that beads and feathers is the culture of Native America, but the family and the community is our culture. That allows us to carry our stories on, to be storytellers and share these things, pass that down. And so we see a mother and daughter, working together. We see maybe a grandfather passing on songs or stories to his grandson. This picture here where you see the children walking in lines, this was, to me, it kind of represents the boarding school era, when this was beginning to be taken away from us. And now we see them walking in line, graduating because we're in a whole new era.
A part of the permanent collection is a gallery dedicated to Native American contributions to sports.
This particular wall are athletes that are professional athletes today with Native lineage, but we also think back to the old games. Shinny looks a lot like field hockey. Stickball looks a lot like lacrosse. This game is played as a means to an alternative to war. If you could settle a dispute and everybody didn't have to die, that's a good thing. And so that's what this game was. What sets apart First Americans Museum from any other museum in the world is that we are a native-run museum. So this is something that we really want to get across to people that, 39 distinct individual nations right here in Oklahoma.
Boy, we were so happy. It took us a while to get a hold of them, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a knuckle biter, a knuckle.
Yeah,
because we're just like, we have to have
getting,
this.
Getting in touch with the right person. I understood we were trying to do the kind of time we needed to do it properly. Because museums are hard. We have to be there out of hours. So it's either before they open or after they close. And
there's art that we can't show. Sometimes artists have special agreements with the museum that their art isn't videotaped for other purposes. We totally understand that, but it's a lot to navigate. Again, our experience in museums and with live music is very different from your experience as a tourist. We have to, or a traveler, we do have to have agreements and permission and written permission and photograph permission to do like almost every square inch. And so it can be a bit of a minefield. But we just knew, I just personally, I wanted to go to it is kind of how it was. Like, how can we go to Oklahoma and not go to this museum that really is one of its kind?
And there was a lot there. We had to kind of do, because it would have been the whole show. There was just a lot of different ways of learning there. That's probably the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Reese mentioned that Oklahoma is the home of 39 different tribal nations and 66 navigates through 14 of them.
It's incredible. And isn't the reason why Oklahoma has so many tribal nations is because of the Trail of Tears, right, Reese? They were all pushed down. They all come from, kind of where we started in Missouri is where they started to do the Trail of Tears all the way down, and they were the United States government gave them the land in Oklahoma and said, okay, this is where you can be. And so that's why, Oklahoma is really rich in Native American history because of it. And you get a chance to really understand the different tribes and just their art as well as their stories. I love the Chickasaw story of the astronaut being represented
amazing.
there. Yeah. And
they had this whole sport thing that you could try. It was like, that they still play,
because the
intertribal sports
museum
and
was
stuff.
actually that field, know. But I think and there was this great story again. We had to cut it for time, and also we just didn't have the B-roll to back it up. Is the whole isn't it football? Oh, football. So football used to be a game that was played like an underhand pass. And scouts were watching these young Native Americans playing, and they had the overhead. So in football before, never had the overhead.
Really?
And that is something that comes from the Native American sport.
Wow.
And that's when they recruited this one guy, and he kind of changed football forever. Yeah.
Our editor, David, said that, and this is true, for those who regularly follow our shows, you'll notice a continuous thread of the history we were not taught. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's true. And it's amazing how often that happens.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That, you hear these stories, I have the real privilege of going and hearing a lot more stories because I'm scouting. I'm trying to hear as many things as I can. And then we put that together to be one episode. But just listening to stuff I had no idea of some of these things.
Yeah.
It's So anyway, that's a great point, David.
Next stop after Oklahoma City, El Reno, where there's a diner that can't be missed, Sid's Diner.
So this is my grandpa Sid.
This is Sid right here?
That's Sid. Over here is a picture of me and my dad.
And it's your dad who opened Sid's.
Dad bought this corner, and they were starting to build it, and Grandpa passed away. So he never saw the building. So kind of in honor of Grandpa, he named it after him.
And how long did your dad flip burgers here?
56 years total.
But not just any burger. El Reno has become world-renowned for the Oklahoma onion burger, which was originally called a Depression burger.
So during the Depression, hamburger meat was very expensive. They had kind of a local restaurant in town. Guy started adding onions. It just helped the meat go further.
Yeah.
So if you got a half a ball of meat and just the same amount of onions, it stretches it, and you get more out of it.
Do you still slice all those onions, or does that get pawned off to the new person you hired?
Yes and no.
Okay. And you also grill the bun too.
When you grill that bun, it gives it something to hold on to. It's just not mushy, so.
I have been strategically planning my burger eating this entire Route 66, and since Chicago, this is my only second burger that I'm having, so very excited.
I was so excited.
Okay.
Oklahoma way.
Now the Oklahoma way
Yeah.
is just mustard and pickle.
Mustard.
You can have it however you want.
No, but that's the Oklahoma way.
That's the traditional
All right.
way.
All right. Gotta get a little pickle in there, out of onion. Oh. Adam, that is fantastic. Oh my gosh. It's a happy dance.
Yeah.
And it's got that sear on it, and then the onions are caramelized and soft. The pickle. Thank you for kicking off my salad eating for the next 4 months. But it was well worth it.
Adam is the best.
Yeah.
Just, a great Sid's Diner is the best fried onion burger in the world.
And here's why that really matters.
Yeah.
Is because El Reno is their hometown.
Thank you for full disclosure.
Meagles.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. Wow.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I think there was a question, what was your favorite food along Route 66? And it was Sid's Diner. I was so looking forward to it. It did not disappoint. It was so good.
So good.
And I love the fact that we got to shoot it while it was I mean, there is no time that it's not busy. So a lot of times when we're doing food scenes, we can't like bug people. They're in the middle of their rush. And Adam was just like, that's fine. He's like, I'll save a little place for you.
Yeah.
And he just moved people around.
Yeah, it's not a big place.
It's not a big place. There's a little bit, there's like maybe like 10 more seats on the other side. He's like, we'll make it work. And what I was so impressed is that he was running that whole thing. I believe that's his wife right there, right next to him. Because there's a drive-through too? There might be a drive-through. And that he was just talking to me the entire time. And I was trying to... yes, exactly. I want to give a shout out to my co-star there, the guy who had to sit next to me the entire time. His name was Kevin. But when we sat down... He knew who I was. He's like, oh, I watch you all the time. And he was finishing up his burger, but we had already started the scene with Adam. And I said, Kevin, you're not going anywhere because we need continuity. And I'll buy you another burger if you stay with me and just pretend, to eat it. He goes, oh, I don't have to pretend. And so he got another burger. And he stayed there for the rest of our conversation, so you wouldn't be like, oh, now there's someone different. And so I really appreciate that, Kevin, if you're watching. Who picked the sappy music?
Jeff,
Would that be? That was Steve, right?
I'm going to say that had to be David. Because that's
David.
Nice.
Yeah. And I love the the from heaven effect of both me and then, of course, Adam, who is... the god of all onion burgers.
Yeah, I'm not as disciplined as Sam with eating salad everywhere she goes. So I ate a lot of burgers, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was definitely a destination. And for the record, there, I think 2 other places in like a 1-block radius that do those onion burgers. And El Reno's famous. It's not like that's the only place that does it.
And isn't it? And if I'm speaking out of, isn't it called the Oklahoma burger? I mean, isn't that also another way of calling it? Yeah, like an onion burger.
It comes from El Reno because I think the place that invented it isn't there anymore.
Okay.
I think I believe that's what I went down.
Okay.
So there's 3 places from that town that kind of took the baton from that.
But I think one thing that we cut. Is Adam, because I was just like, why are your burgers considered so good? And the cows are like literally down the street, like it's Oklahoma. So he said, I have the people who are making my meat processing it this morning. I pick it up, every day at 4 a.m. So it is the freshest meat you could possibly have.
So
Johnny's, Robert, Sid's, and now Job's. Okay, good to know.
And our man who lives there, Meagles, is saying Robert's and Johnny's.
Johnny's. Okay, we've got some corroboration here. Gonna have to go back.
But we have some footage from that.
Yeah, so whenever we eat,
You said they were like boiling
this
hot.
is my crew.
I
now
thought
they
you
get to
can
eat.
just feel it. That you might not want to take a bite just yet.
So everyone's excited. Everyone is excited. Put Brian, yeah.
Come on. No, I'm not going to take it from you. Unless...
That's our camera guy.
You'll take a guy's burger every chance you get.
We were all so excited to have burgers and fries and the pickles and the mustard. It's just perfect.
Yeah, I think someone asked. I lost the.
One of the many.
What else was on the plate? It was. I think the pickles are on the side, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
It was basically a burger and then the pickles on the side
Yep.
that you can put on if you want them or not.
Yeah. And I would say someone said, "Hey, that looks huge," and I guess it's circumferences, but it's really thin.
Yeah, because
And
it's mashed.
It's really mashed, and so it's not like I don't like those big burgers that you can't get your like you can't even take a bite. Like that's not enjoyable to me. So I just think it was actually kind of flat. I loved it.
Say no one has more experience than our man Reese, and he's saying everyone's excited to have one, less excited to be a passenger afterward. True words. True words.
We had to keep going though, Reese.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's it's you. That's
fun.
Oh, Mary Beth says you all literally have the best crew. We do. We really do. Sometimes I feed them too. And when they've been really good.
Yeah, that's funny.
The privileges of driving Route 66 is being able to slowly take in the changes of our nation's great landscapes. Illinois and Missouri have rolling hills and green forests. Leaving the Ozarks from Kansas into Oklahoma, you can see the Great Plains of America, where it's green but still has population into Tulsa and Oklahoma City. But leaving El Reno, you are now going due west, and the sky just opens up as you continue through the state and reach Texas. They say everything's big in Texas except Route 66. At 150 drivable miles, it's the second shortest stretch of the 8 states. Kansas is the shortest, but it's a beautiful stretch. My first stop in Texas is the tiny town of McLean, home of the one-of-a-kind Devil's Rope Museum, where 91-year-old founder and lifetime rancher Delbert True has curated a most unexpected collection.
This all started in 1870.
Okay.
At that time, every farmer and every rancher had a blacksmith shop on his place.
Oh.
And he was a pretty darn good blacksmith, so he was equipped to make this wire. And the main reason there's so many wires is because everybody thought they was going to build a wire, patent it, and get rich.
Okay.
It's just that simple.
Did they?
They did not. Barbed wire is what some people called devil's rope because animals that had never seen it before got tragically caught up in it.
And then they made more humane wire. And today, even though it's sharp, the barbs are loose.
Oh, okay.
And when an animal hits that point, instead of hurting the animal, it'll just turn it.
And it's just a way to be like, don't come here.
Yeah.
You're still a rancher.
So I'm still a rancher at 91 years old. I just got off a tractor a while ago.
An unexpected and powerful display is war wire, where you learn that McLean was the home of a German POW camp. Delbert not only has this model, but remembers firsthand how the camp housed 3,000 prisoners of war.
They weeded out all of the hardcore Nazis. But the rest of them, the boys that were here, 18, 20, 25 years old, just farm boys, boy, they just tickled to death to get here and get out of the war.
Yeah.
I think that it's the most cruel aspect that there is in barbed wire is using wire against your fellow man.
And the museum never lets you forget about the hard work necessary to construct a barbed wire enclosure.
What's the hardest part about it?
Well, the most serious thing that I found about barbed wire affecting me is it taught me how to cuss. You'd be surprised how many bad words you can call barbed wire and not use God's name in it.
Oh, Delbert True. I mean, what a character. And again, one of those instances of, we thought it was in the schedule to be, the quirky stop, right? The largest ball of twine, right? The largest rocking chair. Like that's what its purpose was, right? You always need those stops that are just kind of, they don't make any sense. Because they're on Route 66. And boy, I thought he just knocked it out of the park. I had no idea that the United States had prisoner of war camps for World War II. I had no idea. And him telling that story, not only, of a place where they did have a POW camp, but also a firsthand account. I think he said he was about 7 years old, or I guess do the math, right? But he was young as well. And
It's in the ballpark.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a wealth of knowledge of just that time, and it still affected him how so many of the people from McLean, Texas, did not come back. Farmers' sons that went off to war and did not come back, and at one point he really choked up. Our cameras weren't rolling. He was so great because he never knew. He didn't care when the cameras were rolling or not. So I would be like, "Oh, Delbert, that's great. Can we say that again?" He's like, "What?" Like the camera wasn't rolling. We're repositioning. Oh, okay. And so I had a lot of really wonderful moments with him that I just thought, what a great guy. But who knew that about barbed wire too?
Yeah.
And then he had a whole case, we cut it out before time, of all the elixirs that were to help for animals, and of course it was. A lot of people protested, church groups protested using barbed wire in the West because it was so cruel against animals, and then they started to come up with the more humane way of using it. And just who knew? But I don't know if we mentioned it was an old bra factory. Was that in the video? Sometimes I listen, but I don't hear. But yeah, just a really, really great guy.
So this is our favorite Route 66 guide, the Easy 66.
Is there
guide.
another guy? I don't think so. Like, he's kind of like being.
Well, I mean, there's loads of guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm literally like going through. I done my own research before I left New York, but then I'm looking every night before I go to bed. I kind of look the next day and kind of, because it's literally just page after page of things you're going to pass along the way as you're driving Route 66, and this wasn't on my list. Mm-hmm. And I needed to get to Amarillo, and I was, I had kind of some appointments that was already set, and I was driving past, and I remember reading just a blurb about it, but I was like, that doesn't sound that interesting. And I literally saw it, and I, at the last second, just pulled off into the parking lot and walked in there, and I was like, "Oh my Lord!" There's it's huge. First of all, it's huge.
It's massive.
Yeah, you think it's like this little stand of like 3 different barbed wires.
Yeah, because we didn't
massive.
even see the war display.
Yeah, it's
so
like the size of a supermarket.
Yeah.
It's a really big place that's full of just information about something that I had no clue about.
Yeah,
and that's a really nice combination when there's something you have no idea, no sort of preconceived notions about anything, and you get there and you find all the detail and history and how it changed ranching.
Mm-hmm.
Just before that, basically they would, they wouldn't be able to have huge groups of cattle like they did because they'd have to keep track of them all the time. Someone's asking about this book. It's on Amazon. We have a link to it on our site. We'll put it out there, but. It's just Easy 66 Guide by Jerry McClanahan. But anyway, so it was just I was really happy after I left there that I'm glad I pulled in there because it was not on my list. I was not going to stop in there at all. Lots of bra jokes.
Yep, bra. Yeah. So David Dean, we had a shot. So we had a shot of the barbed wire bra, but it took too long to explain exactly. We're like, I don't know. And I just think as a woman, I didn't need to see that again.
Right. Do you want to show this? Is this down? Good time?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Texas is different. When you get into Texas, it's a different vibe, it's a different feeling, and the longer people will spend here, the more they'll understand that. Our thoughts are different. We think differently.
And to prove it, I've arrived at the largest city I've seen so far in Texas, Amarillo, to check out a unique art gallery that specializes in jewelry created out of some of Amarillo's unnatural resources.
I'm Bob Crocodile Lyall, our artist at Lyall Art Gallery on Route 66 in Amarillo. I paint abstract and I make jewelry, and that's about it.
I was really enchanted by this stretch of Route 66 here in Amarillo.
Yeah, we have 13 blocks of art galleries, antique shops, restaurants with full bars and live music. We have 2 bookstores, a record store, a game shop, tattoo parlors. We got it all.
Bob displays his paintings here in the gallery, but he is most famous for his jewelry, and the material will surprise you.
This is paint off the Cadillacs at Cadillac Ranch.
That Cadillac Ranch.
1.3 million people a year go out there and spray paint graffiti on those cars. And chunks get knocked off, and for the last 11 years, I've been recycling it.
When the paint peels off the cars, it comes off in chunks like this?
Yeah. Oh, you'll be amazed when you get out there how some of it weighs 50. I've got one piece in the backyard that weighs over 100 pounds. Fell off the second car.
Wow.
I know.
That's how many people go to Cadillac Ranch,
Yeah.
and this is all built up spray paint over the years.
Yep.
So you get a chunk like this. This is what you start to work with, and then
Split it
I was
off.
an artist.
I
Okay,
split it off, and then I grind it down with a flat top, which is a lapidary tool with a diamond disc, until I get colors I like. And then I make decisions on what I'm going to do with it.
So cool. And just how artists can take something that's, disposed of and turn it into something so sublime like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then the colors that it gives you.
Yeah.
I like how he decides what to use after he figures out and gets it to the nice shine, whether it's going to be a bracelet, earrings, a necklace. And he had beautiful paintings as well. And I loved how different because I wouldn't have thought it was one artist, his paintings and his jewelry, but really clearly almost like an advocate for Amarillo. He knew all of the businesses. He knew every single one along that block, and I had no idea. Fun fact, I was born in Dallas, Texas, so I do consider myself a little yellow rose. But Amarillo is a great B-side city. That would be a great city just to go back and, do a 3-day shoot from, because there's so much there, and we weren't there nearly enough time.
We were lucky though, because we spent, I think we said the same thing last week about
true.
Tulsa.
Yeah,
we spent 2 nights there. We got there at the end of the night.
Yep.
At the end of the day, stayed the night in Amarillo.
Yep.
Filmed 3 scenes, right? With Bob at the
Cadillac Ranch.
And then the
And
horse
next
thing.
one.
The horse thing, right?
Yeah, and then steak, right?
On steak, four scenes, yeah. And then stayed the night again. So we had a full day, which is a
Very
luxury
rare,
on these
yeah.
kind of trips, because usually we're just passing through. But when I was scouting, the guy from the tourism board gave me a little tote bag with just kind of
We still have that
stuff about Amarillo, and in that tote bag was 2 little cans of spray paint.
That's right. That's right.
It's like I've never been given that as a welcome gift. Here's some spray paint. Have at it.
Yeah, they were lovely. That's great.
It's awesome.
Bob's jewelry is a unique item where the material is, I guess you could say, made locally every day, as people travel here to leave their mark on one of the most famous art installations in the world.
As the saying goes, spray 'em if you got 'em.
There's a lot to do in Amarillo, and if you want to say to your friends back home, I did Texas stuff, then this is a must. I'm channeling my inner cowgirl here at Cowgirls and Cowboys of the West at Los Cedros, a real working ranch co-founded by head cowgirl Phyllis Golden.
Tighten him up a little with your hands. Perfect.
Phyllis loves to take visitors to a geological exclamation point that her property overlooks, Palo Duro Canyon. Considered to be the Grand Canyon of Texas, it's the 2nd largest canyon in the United States.
How large is it? Is it
It
measured
is
in miles?
120 miles long and 20 miles wide at its widest point.
All in Texas?
All in Texas.
When you're riding here, you are enjoying a part of what's known as the Staked Plains, a geological area larger than the total area of New England.
So there is Palo Duro Canyon. You can see some views of it, and it's millions of years old. It was the home of prehistoric men who hunted woolly mammoths, and more recently, it's been the home of Native American Indians. Down in the canyon, there is a natural water supply, so they would farm down there. 1541, the conquistadors, Spanish conquistadors came through here, and they say they were searching for the 7 cities of gold and the fountain of youth. And I wish they had found that fountain of youth.
I think you found it, though.
No, I don't think so. And they did something that changed history. They brought horses. And that changed the history of this land.
It is beautiful.
Oof. Gorgeous, gorgeous shot. We were supposed to go deep into the canyon, but there was a storm coming, so we had to kind of just sit at the edge because it wasn't considered safe. So that was just something you would never know by watching it. It seems great. We were able to send our drones over, but the original idea was to go into the canyon. But I loved her. I want to come back as in my mind because she was so cool.
She was cool.
So
So
cool.
confident and just
So confident. Yeah, I was just like, I need to come back.
What do you need to do? Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Oh, yeah. And just with
you need
absolute
3
ease.
ranch hands? We got that. It's fine.
Yeah.
How many horses? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's just
And she styled me as well. Yeah, because that
Nice.
was like, she's like, oh, let's help you out, and like they put the handkerchief on over
It's
my,
like the scene from
on my
Zoolander.
neck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was awesome. And then the women she works with were fantastic too. So if you are ever in Amarillo, you must do a tour on horseback with that outfit because they were just exceptional.
Vera looked up AI that Amarillo is called the Yellow City because of its name comes from the Spanish word for yellow.
Yeah.
Inspired by the
Yellow
yellow wildflowers in
wildflowers. Oh,
sandy
okay.
soil found on the banks along the nearby Amarillo Creek and Lake
Interesting.
in the Texas Panhandle.
You know, it's funny, Vera.
Thanks, Vera.
I never put that together either. Amarillo is Amarillo, Texas. Never thought, oh, that's right, it's yellow. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I had one other thing before we move on. No, okay. And now for something completely different.
Of course, where there are cowboys and cowgirls, there have to be cows. And where there are cows, there are steaks. And what may be the most famous steakhouse in the entire state is here in Amarillo, Big Texan Steak Ranch.
This is quite the place you have here, Bob.
Well,
And I know you already know that, but this is my first time. How many people can you seat at one time in this restaurant?
About 452 people. We average about 3,000 people a day during our super peak times.
So your father built the Big Texan when?
In 1960, his idea was a modestly themed type restaurant on Route 66 that served big steaks.
This is modest.
It used to be. And we call it a three-ring circus because we serve food. And the act, the circus, the three rings are done by the people that come here.
One of your biggest acts is the 72-ounce steak.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Up here on stage, we have Alex. He has 1 hour to complete 4.5 pounds of beef, a baked potato roll, shrimp, mayonnaise salad. Y'all give him a round of applause and cheer him on.
How often do you have someone saying, challenge accepted?
3.5 people a day. We put it on a camera that goes all over the world.
It's on a live camera?
It's on a live camera, and we have people from Brisbane, from Sydney, from Tokyo that are wagering on the steak eaters.
No way.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Alex said he didn't mind if I joined him with my less than 72-ounce side salad.
When did you decide I'm going to do the 72-ounce steak eating challenge?
A couple of days ago.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a strategy for this, Alex? No. Have you ever done it before? And you could just nod, yeah.
Actually, going a little slower may not be a bad idea.
I'm going to 1-for-1 you with my salad, with my iceberg lettuce. Do you know that there's a live cam on you right now? And this is getting shown like across the world, and people right now are making bets on you.
And you know what? That's fine.
Okay.
Alas, Alex did not complete the challenge, but if you were betting
Sorry,
on
Alex.
me finishing my salad, congratulations.
He was such a character.
Bob?
Bob. Oh my gosh! And as soon as Alex started, he's like, "No, he's not going to do it." I was like, "Really?"
He just looked him up and
He's
down.
like, "I could just tell.
No.
I can just tell." But yeah, he was just an amazing outfit of steak, and I think one of the reasons why we wanted to do it is because if those of you who remember my Travel Channel days, Adam Richman, Man vs. Food, that was his first episode.
I actually was texting with Adam that night when I was there.
We're like, we got to do it for Adam.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, I can't believe you're there. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we just thought
Yeah.
if anyone caught that's kind of what we thought would be fun to do.
I had during my scout, I had dinner with him as well. And just a really cool dude. I don't know. We just a really nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the conversations we had. It was just a really lovely evening.
Yeah.
In this massive restaurant with just,
he was really laid back, and he was just like, he was someone who's worked very, very hard, and he was put to work by his parents at a very early age, and he was just like, 3,000 people a day. And
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's
and they
a
have
lot.
like a brewery.
And,
it's one of those things they keep adding on. They have their own little. They have like a hotel there now, like an inn. It's just
you can stay there.
Yeah, I mean it's a different building, but it's it's all attached to that. But yeah, it's a lot.
Milestones are many, but the midpoint of the entire Route 66 journey in Adrian, Texas, deserves a little celebration. Yep, it's time to fill the pie hole.
Well, today I've got blueberry banana, I have some cherry vanilla, strawberry banana, Tennessee whiskey chocolate pecan, regular pecan, and our Elvis, which is chocolate peanut butter and banana, coconut cream.
Wow. How long have you been making the pie?
Well, for about 12 years now, but I've only owned this place for the last 6.
What did you start as?
A cook. And what do I still do? I cook.
That's impressive. Wow.
So, after much deliberation and a little less conversation, I went with the Elvis.
Okay, young lady.
Oh my gosh.
Is it good? Oh God, thank God. Thank you, God.
Oh my gosh, so good. The diner's been here since the 1950s, but it wasn't until like the late 90s that it was figured out that this was sort of the midpoint of Route 66.
Yes.
After the highway was decommissioned?
That's because they were fighting between the three little towns, Wildorado, Vega, and here.
Okay.
We all wanted to be midpoint.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the state stepped in and put the sign here.
Oh, so this is official.
Mm-hmm.
Any advice for me as I make my journey onwards? Tucumcari, that's a pretty famous stop.
Yeah, when you leave here, say you leave here at 11, you're going to get there at 11.
But that's another state and another time zone, so I decided that the midpoint is a good place to pause my Route 66 odyssey for now. But what a journey it's been so far.
Route 66 is magical. It's got a different vibe than any other road in the country or in the world. I want people to experience what Route 66 was, what it was like in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, because it's a whole different deal, and that's some of the best American history there is.
The station was never in the Green Book.
Really?
Never. Didn't need to be, though, because word of mouth.
Okay.
Word of mouth.
A lot of trails that we use for migration, for hunting, they're used today for highways, and so Route 66 is actually one of those. It's good to be a part of that.
Well, Route 66 is known for neon, and I feel like it's my job to teach and continue the tradition of neon glass on the signs on Route 66.
Okay, I've officially passed the midpoint of Route 66. I've had the best burger I've ever had, learned history that my textbooks never taught me, and met the most incredible people who share with you their personal stories. Stories that create the pavement that continues this mother road. 5 states down, 3 more to go, where I'm sure I'm going to find so many more places to love.
It's a great show. It's a really great show. Man, I think David said it. All of this is in
One
this
episode.
show. Yeah. Just it was rich and thick and yeah, I already miss it. And oh my gosh, that pie. Every time I see that pie, oh my gosh, it's so good. I love chocolate cream pie.
A little behind the scenes. That pie actually took a year to be delivered because
That's right.
we actually
Yeah.
filmed.
Yeah.
So a year ago, or a year and a half ago now, when we filmed that, we actually filmed all the way to Santa Fe and flew out of Santa Fe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we really continued on after this.
But when we were editing this show, there was just too much. So we decided, how about this? What if we just cleave off all of the stuff for New Mexico and just save it for next year?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll end at that. It's a really great point to end at the New Mexico border.
Midpoint, yeah.
And so we pick up the New Mexico, the first 3 scenes we show in the New Mexico, that is airing now. If you go to pbs.org, you can watch it. Those first 3 scenes were filmed the year before.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that pie was a year old when it was handed off
Yeah,
to.
exactly. Still good, though. Still good.
Yeah. But we mentioned we have a special guest that I'm at the beginning of the show, and we're really excited to have them. You know, this is also a gender reveal party because we're not going to say who they are.
Yeah.
But we want to bring in our good friend, Bob Crocodile Lyall. How you doing, Bob?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, I'm having a wonderful evening. I really enjoy watching this and watching you two banter and talk about things. It's amazing. You know, you mentioned at the Devil's Rope Museum, you were talking about a brassiere that they made out of barbed wire.
Yeah.
Well, I made one out of Cadillac several years ago for the breast cancer aware people here in Amarillo. And it was auctioned off. And if you ever get back to Amarillo, it's down the street from me at the Route 66 Visitor Center.
So, I'm sorry, you used your Cadillac to make a brassiere?
Yeah.
That sounds
It's
amazing.
Really
I want to look it up
I
because
feel
that's
like you
gorgeous.
wouldn't want that against your skin.
Is it like
Do I?
bejeweled? Is that what you did? Like it's all bejeweled, like Madonna would wear it?
No, it's like made out of pieces of paint off the Cadillacs. It's a Cadillac brassiere.
It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. It is so good to see you. It has been quite some time, and and I love what you said. You obviously we loved it. You had so many moments that we used as transitions, and David, our editor, is on right now, and that's what we love to use the most. I don't like to do a voiceover like, now after this, I'm going to Amarillo, Texas, or now I'm in Texas. And the way you set up, like we think different, we talk different, and it was just so perfect. And then towards the end, just talking about how the history is so important from the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. It is some of our best history to know. Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that Route 66 is more than sort of this joyride that a lot of people think it is, and it's really about getting more in touch with the history of this great country?
I was raised in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and so it kind of, it resonates with me. But we used to travel Route 66 to Oklahoma City when we went down there. And then the first time I went to California in 1961 in a 1958 Corvette with a buddy of mine, we took 66 out. And of course, that was 1961. He was going out for 2 weeks of reserve training with the Marine Corps. So we acted like we were the two guys that were on TV, Martin Miller. Yeah. I mean, we were those guys going out to California in that Corvette. So it just, and then we didn't get hooked up with it until 1996 with Harley Owners Group when they first did it. My wife and I did the trip with them, and that's when we met Michael Wallace, our famous author, who's also the voice of the sheriff in the movie Cars. And we became friends with Michael, and that's when we really fell in love with historic Route 66.
Yeah. I was saying that what makes it, I do a lot of speaking engagements, and I've been really just talking a lot about my Route 66 trip and how, for me, in my 25 years of travel, it is the most incredible trip I've ever taken. Just absolutely hands down. And one of the reasons why is because there's such a exchange of a reciprocity of hospitality. So as a traveler on Route 66, every store I stop at, every restaurant I walk into, that owner, that store owner, that artist, that Adam who's making hamburgers understands they're here because so many people are here because of Route 66, and so we already have this in common, this excitement to be here, and then you, the gallery owner, is excited that we're here, and so it's just a meeting of wonderful minds, right? Whereas sometimes you can walk into a store and people could care less where you're from, right, or that you're here from far, far away. It's just like, okay, what do you want? I don't care. But in Route 66, there is an energy there that the traveler has and that the business owner and the people along Route 66 also inhabit. And it's just this wonderful synergy. And I think that's what makes it phenomenal.
Well, when you said what you said about that trip, it just thrilled me, because that's the way most of us roadies feel. And I know you've been all over the world. I've been all over half the world, but still home, Route 66 is what makes it what it is. And I love the history, and I love the old buildings, and I love the old filling stations and motels. And I always tell people this, it's the people that live and work and travel the road that make it what it is.
And Bob, one of the reasons we wanted to have you on is that not only are you a really fascinating artist and jewelry maker, and we showed that on the show, but we didn't mention the show that you're also a Route 66 tour guide.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us about that.
I started, 14 years ago. I did I had done some local tours, but and I did a tour across Texas with people from Hawaii in a bus not too many years ago. But I got hooked up with a guy, and we had Chinese people for General Motors from China come over, and we didn't do the whole thing. We did Chicago, and then they chartered a jet and flew us into Amarillo, and then we did from Amarillo to Santa Monica. But it was a wild deal. My interpreter wasn't that good, but I had a good time, and they paid me well, so I didn't cry. And that was my first big trip. And then Sam Murray, who has Gilligan's Route 66 Tours, contacted me. That was 13 years ago, 12, 13 years ago. And we've been working together ever since. Being a tour guide is hard work. It'll wear you out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hoot.
Absolutely.
And I'm with people from New Zealand and Australia, and they're fun. Now, the only problem is they want you to stay up to midnight every night and drink beer with them, and I can't do that. I can't do that anymore.
Don't you do?
25
And the tour group that you guide, everyone has their own car, right? It's not a bus tour.
Yeah. Each couple has their own vehicle, and once in a while, I'll drive a 12-passenger van, and there'll be a couple that they don't want to drive; they just want to drive, so they'll ride with me, so they get the full deal.
Nice.
What are some of your favorites? I mean, we've all of our episodes have aired now, so if anyone watches our show, they could have seen the whole of Route 66 that we featured, and we've done these live events now for kind of half of it. But what are some of your highlights of when you've done this so many times?
Oh, when you talk about the restaurants, and I've probably eaten 20 Sid's burgers, onion burgers. Of course, he doesn't have any idea who I am, but I've probably had 20 of those burgers, and they're fantastic. There's so many good places to eat. Of course, the Midpoint Cafe is a good place. The Ariston Cafe in Illinois is one of my favorites, and the Artichoke Cafe in Albuquerque is one of my favorites. And right on down the road, I'm a foodie. I love good food. I don't do sugar, but I love good food. And I've tried steaks, and I've tried seafood, and just it's all good. But Chicago, of course, you got to go to. See, I'm on these drugs. The doctor has me on these drugs, and my brain doesn't work as good as it used to. But you got to go to Lou Mitchell's in Chicago. Yeah. You got to go to Lou Mitchell's and Barnaby's Beanery or Barnaby's in California is good. Yeah, there's so many places. You were talking about my friend Reese a while ago. Yeah, he's amazing, and now he's just keeps climbing the ladder up. He's doing all kinds of things.
He said he has a Thai bar that you created.
No,
yeah, he wears a Thai bar. I made
that's
for him.
nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I keep looking for more famous people to own my jewelry,
Well, we love your jewelry, and I loved your artwork as well because you do paintings. Would that be oils? Or the prints that you had with the different.
Well, I do the Route 66 prints, and I've only done 4 states, but we have the other 4 states drawn off right now, and I've got to get the other 4 painted for the Centennial. So we got to. I've got them all drawn off now, and now we got to go to work and get them painted. So probably another 2 or 3 months, I'll get at least 2 of them done. But yeah, and I enjoy painting, but I'm not painting much because the jewelry takes all my time. It pays the bills.
Do you is Amarillo doing anything big for the 100th anniversary, or is it just kind of this slow rollout every weekend? There's something going on.
No, they're having a big meeting. The Convention and Visitors Bureau is having a big meeting on the 20th of February for a couple of hours, and we're all going to get together. And then, there's going to be a big festival. It's 10 days, goes for 10 days. It includes rodeo. They drive the Longhorns down Polk Street. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And then on the 13th of June, which is a Saturday, we block off 12 blocks of 6th Street. We have live music, games, contests, pinup contests, all kinds of neat stuff.
Oh, that's great. So it's going to be a big celebration. Because I was wondering when people are going to be celebrating all these, these areas are going to be officially celebrating the 100th anniversary. Like what that big celebration looks like and when is it?
And I don't know, you mentioned in the episode, you mentioned Amarillo being a great place on Route 66, but I think just a minute you mentioned 6th Street that, there's parts of Route 66 that actually we have a clip that Sam did that, it's like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And, that's Route 66 and it's, it is what it is. That's kind of what you want when you're kind of out there, but you have these really remote stretches and, then there's like, you'll pass a filling station, looks interesting, you stop in, or maybe a convenience store, and you'll stop in and say hello, whatever. But Amarillo's got a nice stretch of downtown.
Great stretch.
Where it's just lots of stuff, and it's Route 66, and it's its own little, like, historic area, right? It feels different than the rest of Amarillo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, totally different. The Golden Light Cafe was opened in 1946. Smoky Joe's just down the street from me. They have live music 7 nights a week.
Wow.
Except maybe, I don't know, maybe even Christmas. I don't know. But, yeah. And so many people miss 6th Street. They just go on by. They get on the interstate and go on out to Cadillac Ranch and miss us. So what we're trying to do is get more people to come down to see what we've got to offer, because that's what we're here for.
Well, I was really surprised by all the artist galleries there, and just there really is a strong artistic center of Amarillo. Is there a reason for that?
We have a lot of fantastic artists in Amarillo.
Yeah.
Art is tough to sell in Amarillo. I sell art to people in Tennessee and North Carolina and Dallas and Houston and San Antonio. And I wish we could get more people in purchase art, but there's not a lot of people that do. I'm getting more and more after being there for 14 years. I'm starting to get more and more Amarillo people in my gallery. They come down to 6th Street to eat, drink, and antique. But we're getting more and more all the time.
That's right, because
and we're getting more domestic travelers than ever before on 66. Shows like yours have got people's interest peaked in our Americans. And we get 30 to 40,000 foreigners a year. I get people from all over the world coming in.
Yeah.
But in 2025, we had more domestic travelers than ever before. And I think we will also this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Thanks to you.
Well, easy to do. Our country is, it's fascinating to see, and there's so much to explore here that is so vastly, we live in New York City. When we go out to Texas, it's just, we might as well be in another country altogether, just the look and the feel. And it's so wonderful to experience that, I think, firsthand. That's what I love the most about Route 66. It's just wonderful. So that's really good to hear. But we were so, I remember when after you did your scout, you're like, this is a great city. Yeah. It's boy, who knew? And so that's what we always love to do, is show off, places that people don't know about.
But it's a good place to visit and a wonderful place to live.
Yeah. I bet. We agree. Well, Bob, thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's just so great to see you.
And one last, if anyone wants to check out Bob's art and jewelry, it's Lyall Gallery, Lile gallery.com. And there is an online store, right, Bob, that you can buy things?
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And I was just featured in Texas Highways Magazine in the January issue, and they've already sold about 20 pieces of stuff for me. And Samantha, you sold more for me after your show aired than any other TV show I've ever been on. And I've been on several.
I love it.
I appreciate it. And I was in the hospital recuperating when that aired, and my wife had to help me fill the orders. But we got them all taken care of. So Anyway, I appreciate you guys, and it's so good to see you again. And I'm amazed at what you all do.
Well, right back at you. We're
Yeah.
amazed at you. We're so glad you are healthy. And we love how unique and special that jewelry was. It really helped make our show. That's exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Couldn't just be any jewelry, right? And
It was Cadillac Ranch jewelry.
It was Cadillac Ranch jewelry. Like, oh my gosh, just a gift. So thank you so much.
Yep.
Have a great night. And tell your wife thank you for helping out, filling those orders.
All right.
Right.
God bless
Thanks.
y'all. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. So great.
Yeah, I love that. We love to hear that, and we love to hear that more Americans are traveling Route 66. I know the people I talk to, because most of the shows that I'm doing are in the Northeast, Chicago. Well, Chicago should know.
Speaking of Chicago, we forgot to talk about the Travel Adventure Show. Oops. Samantha will be there February 21st and 22nd in Chicago at the Travel and Adventure Show. And if you want to go in for free, if you just use the code Places to Love VIP at travelshows.com, you can buy a free ticket there. That's in Chicago, February 21 and 22. Sorry about that. I meant to mention that in the beginning. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
We've made it to the end.
Yeah, I think we had a few questions here. Here's a good one. Gretchen asked, you do all this without your kids. Are there some places you want to go back to and take them along?
Oh boy, that's
Your kids.
my kids. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think we're big on road trips, that's for sure. And, I think just again, exploring, we're really big on, hey, you live a certain way in Brooklyn, New York, and it's really important for you to see how other people live and love and where different opinions come from and how, it's just a basis for how we all get along and go forward. And so, yeah, I would love that, because so much of the history that we learn about in the United States, we don't really get to touch and interact with, especially the Native American stories, especially just like, the horses coming to the United States for the first time, understanding that there was a point in history where there were no horses, and then there were. Absolutely, we would love to bring them. It's a great journey, and they love a hamburger.
And our daughter is, I think she orders a hamburger or cheeseburger everywhere we go. So just to get to Sid's would be a pilgrimage, I think, for her. Samantha last week was on Kelly and Mark, right?
Yeah, and I was talking about Route 66.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that at the beginning.
Yeah.
But Tim Uchwat over on YouTube asked what it was like. This is a long time ago, that the Disney Christmas Day parade that you were on for quite a few years, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, I loved it. It's great. It's a massive operation. And so when I go from our operation, which is like 8 people, which is actually pretty big for a travel show, and then now you are with like 100 people,
Yeah, it is a different world.
It's a different world, and yet everyone knows what they're doing, and everyone's super friendly, and there's so much excitement and fun. It's great to be there. I remember one time walking to get to our rehearsal, and Justin Bieber was rehearsing for his. I was just like.
I remember I think it was the last time you were on, you were pregnant.
I was very pregnant.
Yeah.
I wasn't just pregnant.
It was borderline whether you should fly or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And how organized they were. Like, literally, the second you were done being on camera, you got put in a car and sent off to a recording studio to do some voiceover stuff. Mm-hmm. And the Disney person assigned to us took me around the park for an hour while you were doing that. Mm-hmm. And we got 5 rides in an hour, because it was all private entry. It was I had never seen that before. It was amazing. Just literally you walk right in, sit down, ride, walk out, walk to the next one, sit down, ride.
Yeah, you get a VIP guide.
Yeah. And then we got back, you were just finishing the VO, we got in the car and left. It was really organized. It's crazy.
It is. They all have those earpieces, and they're all talking to each other.
Tim also asked, do you have a favorite song? Our musical theater major over here.
It's funny you should ask Tim. I love the musical Oklahoma. I know all the words from every single song. My very favorite song would have to be Surrey with a Fringe on Top. I think that's one of the best songs. I love it when like jazz, when they slow it down, chicks and ducks. But my favorite way of saying, I used to sing it a lot when our twins are now 13, but my son, when he was a baby, had terrible gas. And you have to kind of burp them out, right? You have to, and so I would put them on my lap, and I'd be like, "Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry." And I know it sounds so.
As a non-musical theater major, I had no idea what that song was.
And listen, I was that's so Surrey with the Fringe on Top, and I was just singing Oklahoma this past weekend because we have a place in upstate New York, and I go out walking in the woods, and there are bears. And so you always have to make a lot of racket just in case you come into contact with one or you don't want to. And so my song of choice is Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Oklahoma, where the waving. Don't get me started. Again, Yeah. Anyway. There were... No, that's Music Man.
Uh-oh. Well, I thought I was going to change the subject, but Daniel had a good comment here.
If it is sexy Oklahoma Revival on Broadway, I never knew Surrey with it. Oh,
could be sexy.
No, I don't. I know. It is very soft. Like all the music you can slow down and really enjoy. But that is the joy of Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Well, I tell you, Reese, we're going to miss you, buddy, because every time you mention something, Reese brings it back to Oklahoma.
The original Surrey from the movie is on display at the Claremore Museum of History right off of 60.
Yeah.
Well, had I known that.
There's like the 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
And then in Reese's case, there's the 1 degree of separation back to Oklahoma.
66, yeah. Oh my gosh, I would have been very, very happy. Did it have isinglass curtains that you can roll right down in case there's a change in the weather? Two bright side lights.
Not to bring it down, but Maria asked if you watched the Grapes of Wrath movie. I didn't even know there was a movie for
Yes, Henry Fonda. Are you kidding me?
I read the book, and I read the book while I was doing Route 66, and man, was that... I had the best days and the worst nights reading that book.
Yeah,
it was just like, ugh. And,
did you enjoy it, though, in terms of...
Well, I think, so Daniel's saying that Steinbeck's his favorite. My takeaway from that was it was just a really tough premise, and it was, sad and just so destructive what was happening across the board, and there was no way you get away from all this really awfulness. But my takeaway from it was just what a great writer Steinbeck was.
I was going to say, did you at least appreciate it?
There were chapters I'd be like, God,
yeah.
Forget what he was talking about. Just the way it was written was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was depressing, super depressing. Oof. Over here. So there were 2 different questions. Someone asked about, was it great having kind of a sporty car?
Mm.
And here we go. Can you comment on driving a quote-unquote sports car on 66? Would you do that again? And then someone separately asked, I'll leave that up, if we did take the kids, would we want to do an RV instead?
I would not want to do an RV. No. I would. It's just too much. And those roads are small. I mean, it's not like you're out west and it's just you're on the interstate. They're winding. You want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would get worried unless you were an accomplished RV driver. I mean, people who are really confident in that. I'm just not, and we know because we did a whole RV episode in Oregon.
Yeah,
where
which was great.
Gosh, yeah,
but it was dicey.
Yeah, dicey, exactly.
It was a 33-foot long RV. I'd never driven one. And I'm driving it on camera with my 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds.
Yeah, we have a minivan.
Yeah. I'd say
I loved it. I loved having a Mustang. I thought it was pretty awesome. So I do think having a really fun car, sporty car is really enjoyable.
I'd say the dirty secret about Route 66 is that pretty much the entire route from Chicago to Santa Monica, maybe not so much in the last bit in Los Angeles, is at any point you can get on the interstate. Mm-hmm. The whole thing you're trying to do is get off the interstate, and sometimes it's like a service road, and you're literally 20 yards away from the interstate. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it kind of veers off, and you're going through neighborhoods and towns, and then it veers back. But if you had a big RV and the right kind of maps, and it's like, oh, you know what? I don't want to go through that little tiny area because I have this huge vehicle, you could just stay on the interstate, but that limits you, I think.
Yeah,
You know, it's
I don't
not
think that's the point.
Yeah, it's not the point. I feel like this is going to be Diego finished the Route 66 series and he loved it.
Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do too. We love it. Again, it was there's nothing like it.
Our good retail friendly friend Mary Beth Babcock, pack light and purchase souvenir tees along the road. And I tell you, my default as an adult is I don't need any more T-shirts.
Oh.
And then something comes up, and I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if I had a T-shirt.
Oh no,
for that.
I always I love. I have a lot of Route 66 T-shirts as well. And here's a fun tip: I used to work with a producer when I was doing a lot of my Asia travels for Travel Channel, and I thought it was brilliant. She would bring a stack of 10, and because she was from New York, I love New York T-shirts, and because. We would always be like, relying on the kindness of strangers. And there are times where tipping someone, giving them money is not appropriate. And you don't know. And then like maybe you want to get them a gift, but you just like, are you going to get someone from Switzerland a box of chocolates? Like what is that gift? And she just found that it was really fun to give something of a T-shirt from her home. So if you think about where you're from, like Tulsa or what, get I Love Tulsa or a fun Tulsa T-shirt. If you go anywhere overseas or heck, even in the United States, be like, hey, this is for you. It's a, a T-shirt. People really love it. And they loved it whenever we worked with people.
Yeah.
They were so excited because it was something they could never get where they're from. And just saying, Mary, if you ever decide to travel, you should bring a few of your Buck Adam Cosmic Curio T-shirts, and I'm sure that would go
That'd be great.
over very,
and Maria
very well.
got her Route 66 T-shirt.
Yeah,
that's
our
cool.
Route 66
Actually, you know what?
T-shirts.
I decided to wear it for when we do Arizona in the December. I did buy a Route 66 Hawaiian shirt.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
At
even I haven't
Angel's
seen that.
at Angel's shop.
Ah.
I'm not really a Hawaiian shirt kind of guy.
No, you're not. No.
But I was so taken like by meeting Angel. If you saw the Arizona episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just being there in the presence of him, and
That's so true.
I was like, I got to buy something. I'm like, I'm gonna be the kind of guy I never thought I was, and buy a Hawaiian shirt that I have never worn since.
Yeah.
But I'll wear it that night. I think so. All right. Well, wow. It's been 10 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Guys,
I'm gonna
thank
miss
you
this.
so much.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you for showing up every Monday, even when Mr. Steves was doing his lives.
Yeah.
But no, it's so great, and we really do love you. We love our community, and we know that travel is just one of the few things that we all look forward to. It really is one of the few things that we have in our lives that mark a fresh start.
Colleen wrote a really nice.
I selected the most
thing.
fun and unique personalities to share their stories. Because of what you do, the world is a happier place. This is so very much appreciated. Yeah, it is a challenging time. I agree,
Thanks, Colleen.
And I've looked forward to this. I think travel is the path forward. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk to people. I think the Route 66 is a great lesson for us all. Get off the interstate, which is sort of can be in our mind as well, of just like getting from point A to point B, and just keep, and have that more Route 66 feel of any trip. And you're making the world a better place.
And we are dreaming up a whole new season, season 10. We're getting things in place to start doing some pretty epic trips and epic episodes, and I can't wait to be talking about them a year from now.
Our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
It's great stuff. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you.
Thank
It's been a lot of great times. And we'll see you all in the December, I guess, right? November?
Yeah.
December.
December.
All right. Good night.
Good night.